Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai. We're doing the total Fall of the Samurai Scramble for the Far East mod. As you all know, we did vote to do Napoleon Total War 3 as Russia. I am going to hold off on that campaign, because I am going to receive a preview for a Napoleon mod that's going to be revamped. So that's why we're gonna hold off a little bit on doing Napoleon Total War 3 as Russia. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into this campaign, which will be running as my secondary campaign. But now, as Napoleon is kind of pushed to the back, this is gonna be the first one. So, we're doing Scramble for the Far East. I've done the earlier version of this as Great Britain, but now we're going to go back, and as we've already voted on what nation to do, I thought we'll do Russia in this mod as well as Napoleon Total War 3. So we're going to do Russia. Start off in the east here in Russia. You can read a little bit about it. They reached the Pacific in 1647 and so on. Long may the Tsar live forever, right to rule, bayonet speaks, large army, Trans-Siberian Railway is some of the perks I guess we have. There's a few others for the different one, liberty or death, democracy, union, the Monroe Doctrine for USA and stuff like that. Anyways, I think we'll go ahead and jump into it. I've set the game difficulty to very hard, and then we're gonna push the battle difficulty all the way to, I think, very hard, or is it legendary is the next one. With that said, let's go ahead and jump in and start this campaign. And so here we are on the campaign map, just outside of Vladivostok. We start off with 4 provinces and a little bit of an army. However, we need to do quite a bit to get this show on the road. Currently, if we go into the tax here, we can see that everyone is quite upset with us taxing them. So we're going to have to lower that quite a bit, all the way to minimal, to just get a neutral outcome. So right now, they're not going to go into absolute revolt, because they're basically paying nothing. The way we're going to fix that, and we're just going to take a lot of our starting money to build police offices, or police stations, all across our holdings. So they have 2 benefits: repression in the province, and they also spread influence, Russian support influence. So, as you know, in the standard one you have pro-shogunate and pro-emperor. Here you also have pro-Russian. But not only pro-Russian, you have that for all the European nations. So pro-Prussian, pro-US, pro-Great Britain, France, and so on. So that's the start. Then I'm also going to build a fencing camp over here. That is so I can build very cheap conscript infantry that we can put to garrison conquered territories, but also other areas that might need to be held down, as industrialization brings with it the fact that the common man, the poor peasant, is not too happy with. Now, I was struggling here a little bit whether I should pick a military dock or trade dock. Normally, I always kind of go for trade, and I think we're going to do it this time around as well. I don't see anyone... I think money is going to be more important to us than being able to build great military ships, or at least at the start. One thing to be said here is I find the campaign a bit slow in the way, at least here in the start it's going to be quite slow, because it's going to take me a while to actually set up to into a position where I feel confident in starting moving against our enemies. So I'm gonna do quite a few turns until we jump into the part where I actually go ahead and declare war on my neighbors. It takes quite a lot of turns to go to Japan, so we're not gonna start by invading them. We're gonna start by invading our neighbors. So the Chinese in Outer Manchuria and the Koreans up here. Now the Koreans won't be a problem because they have not garrisoned anything of this up north. So we'll be able to go through this part quite easily. I'm not entirely sure if they can walk on this land bridge. I could probably, if I actually build a little bit of a navy, I could bombard any army that tries to march through here. And then we go down. So the key object is going to take this first, and then we're going to move over to Japan. And in the north, as the absolute first one, is we're going to capture some of the Korean ones. But the thing to focus on is the Chinese, because they are actually going to build quite a bit of an army. So we're going to try and take them out first. Now, not too quickly though, because these guys are going to spend a lot to build this province up. And I would rather take it when it's upgraded, rather when it's not. Now that's a bit of a gamble, because Chinese are going to get a lot of troops if I wait too long. So we're going to try to figure out a good middle ground there. And with that said, I think I'll see you guys when we're ready for an invasion. And we're back! My invasion force is ready. I did kinda realize, though, that the conscript infantry is... I mean, if you compare it, they are cheaper in recruitment. They cost about 200 less, and they cost 20 coins less in upkeep. However, though, normal infantry, which I'm comparing with, it has an increase in reload skill by 50%. So instead of 20, they have 30. And then they have a lot better accuracy as well. So I wonder if it would have just been just as well to get normal infantry. I don't know if I maybe was too cheap here. There's a few other things that also is better by getting normal infantry. For one, they have 40 more soldiers. They can form square. So there's quite a few upsides. But anyways, I've spent the money on conscripts, so there we are. And of course I am Russia, so why not? We're gonna start then by declaring war. It's kind of interesting how the border actually goes. I don't know if you see it on the map here, if you look closely. China is actually in between. So they're blocking us from having a border with Korea. So we didn't know Korea at the start, which is kind of interesting. Also, Korea holds this. Another interesting thing is that France got eliminated right in the beginning, which has happened quite a few times, even in my test playthrough. So I'm not entirely sure where France starts off, but they get nuked every time almost. I managed to get a little bit of I'd say a navy, but it's a single ship. 18 cannons, 24 pounder, I believe. It's a brig, Mercury class. I don't think we can actually bombard the place, but right. With that, let's go ahead and invade the Chinese. Now they are allied with the Koreans. The Chinese also start as enemies of Great Britain and France. But most likely here, as we declare war, we're going to
as politeness dictates. As to the response
we're going to most likely they're most likely going to call on their ally, and we're going to get war with the Koreans as well, which is true. The Qing Empire is joined by the Joseon Kingdom, the Koreans. With that, let's move into action. The main army is going to advance and cross the river. We've got the Cossacks, which are going to move ahead, the scout ahead, and then we got the conscripts as reserves bringing up the rear. My spy is already checking out the Chinese, which have arrayed quite a vast army, although a lot of it is old-timey spear troops. Let's go ahead and... as it's going to take a while for me to actually march into battle here, I think it looks like we're going to do another jump cut. Finally, we are within range of the first settlement. We're going to lay siege and attack immediately. Going to start by moving up the main army with the artillery to actually lay the proper siege. They have a few troops and a few light mortars, armed citizenry. We're going to continue the siege, and then I'm going to move to make sure that each general is within range. The reason why I've split them up like that is because they don't get experience unless you've split them up like that. Also, a thing I should really do, I believe I should actually move, I should switch commander. This should be the main commander of the big army, since this is my faction leader. So we'll gain points for him that will permeate throughout the empire, or permeate good points throughout the empire in all sorts of things. With that said, let's go ahead and have our first battle in this mod by attacking this small settlement. Welcome to the Russian siege camp. We're currently bombarding the fort at hand, and I'm soon about to throw my troops into the assault. We're just trying to break down a few towers and stuff. With that, let's go ahead and actually take a look at what we're attacking. It's quite an interesting castle here. There's lots of towers and gates and stuff that we're going to capture. The troops that are arrayed, we have 2 levy infantry. It's actually a levy and a militia holding these front walls, and I'm about to send my troops up to go ahead and shoot these guys down, because I think we're outranging them. Then back here is mortars and an armed citizenry unit. And my army is strewn out like this. We've got the Cossacks, which have taken the hill over here. We have the main army, which is situated in these troops, plus the marine troops over here. And then we've got the conscripts over here. The conscripts gonna move forward, burn their way through here, and come there to attack, while the regular infantry is now gonna move forward to about here. That will put them within range of the enemy, and they will open fire. I'll actually put them at fire by rank. And as that is about to commence, we'll minimize the flag a bit. We couldn't even hear the first shot of these guys. See if we can't hear the second one. There we go. Second volley. And third. Kind of weird that the third one wasn't... the first and the third weren't heard. We aren't hitting a lot of them, given the amount of firepower I'm actually laying down here. Once we actually start...
Your men have destroyed an enemy tower!
Once we start to actually hit maybe the wall and start to destroy that, maybe that is going to help. Now the tower is destroyed. I'm going to go ahead and destroy the other tower over there by personally aiming one of the cannons and destroying it like this. We're probably going to have to aim quite high. Fire! Boom! And then we destroyed that tower. So now we're kind of free to advance here. What I can notice is we got 33 points over here. So let's aim for that kill zone so that we're more accurate. Now we've actually got quite a bit. There's 135 of them, so we've killed almost 70. If the wall is broken down here, we can even we'll probably be able to kill more. With that, I'm now going to start to advance some troops over here. We're going to get 2 conscript troops to advance at rapid pace, burn the tower and burn the gate. And then they're gonna be followed by the 3 others, or the 3 other conscript units. Gonna move a little bit slower though. And then we've got the Marines. The Marines gonna move to take control of this high hill and be able to fire down in case someone attacks the conscripts once they get inside. I imagine they're gonna rally the armed citizenry, and the conscripts might not be able to set up position to fire at the enemy once they get inside. This unit's down now to 99 men. Cannon shots blowing them up in constant fire. I believe the reason is because they have quite old style musket. You can see they have old, really old matchlocks even, I would say, compared to the Russian army, which fields these muskets. Might even be rifles. I'm not entirely sure what the Russians were using at the time. Let's go ahead and burn this before too many of these troops die. We've only lost 5 in this, 6 in this, and 12 in this unit. Trying to... Okay, you don't want to throw at the tower? I'm gonna have to send these guys forward. We're gonna see about burning this place. Get the conscripts forward. Okay, so the gate is burning. Now I want that tower to burn as well. And then we're gonna push these guys through. Try to set up. And then move the rest through. I want you to attack the tower. You're unwilling to attack the tower? Well then, charge in and claim the area. We're gonna have the other 3 march in as well. And at the, roughly at the same time, the Marines are about to come into play as well. What we're gonna do is we're gonna send one of them over to capture this tower, since they didn't want to burn the towers. And then we're gonna have this guy capture this tower. At the same time, most of this unit is destroyed. These guys are now moving over. Let's actually focus in on the gate, see if we can't break that. The fact that these guys now switched over is probably going to help us quite a lot if they move towards where I've actually blown a hole in the wall. Let's go ahead and target one cannon shot on our own. Let's see, where is the... There's the gate. Fire! Oh. Should have aimed higher. We're actually running out of shot for the cannon. Tower is neutralized. The Marines are now in position on the hill, overlooking that part of the castle. The enemy looks to even be moving out of the gate there. They haven't lost that many troops. We're actually kind of running out of ammo.
The men have taken an enemy tower!
Nice. Let's advance on the enemy. Cannon shots are... A lot of cannon shots are landing here, which is not great. You know what? Hold your fire and instead try to barrage the inside of the castle instead. Try to break some of that down. And then these guys will advance and shoot the enemy down. Conscripts have captured that. Let's go ahead and rush forward, burn the gate and burn the tower. And then get these 3 to move in here. The enemy is now firing back. We should definitely be in good range to absolutely destroy them from over here. I'm gonna order the battalions to halt and resume firing on the enemy. What I might do is actually have the 4th one rush forward and try to burn the gate from this angle. In so doing, maybe even setting fire to the walls around it. You will burn the tower, while you will burn the gate. I don't think we can burn that one, unfortunately. So on this unit, all the way here, ready to burn. I guess most of the shots are landing where the troops aren't.
Your
or
men
the
have
fact
the
that
enemy tower! Fine work, sir!
Right. See if you can burn that. If you can burn it from this angle, that would be great, because that would probably set fire to the wall here. Which would cause quite the problem for the enemy, as the wall would be broken down. You have lost 4 men and you're wavering. I guess they don't really like the situation there with all the fire going on. Pull back and open fire at the enemy. Return fire. Look at that. We broke down the wall, opening up the side so that we can more easily fire into that. At the same time, I should be burning this gate. Are we still losing troops here? There's a lot of towers. The conscripts probably need aid, so we're gonna get the marines in there, and we're gonna get one of the generals to go in. I should actually move this one into action as well. And we should get the general to come and aid these troops over here. What we might do is actually charge in now, or claim the castle by scaling the walls. And just as that, some of the enemy troops might actually be pulling back. I'm not sure. We're getting too close. Hold your fire. Let's see. The gate is broken. We've got armed citizenry about to come out of the castle. Wait for my order. What we're gonna do is, as these guys are coming out, I might climb the wall. Now, fire at will. I've put them to be at stand ground or toggle guard mode, so the rest of the unit should be able to fire, while just some of the soldiers are engaged in melee. I'm blocking it off so these guys can't retreat and get to us. The armed citizenry are broken. All we need to do is charge through and get those blasted guns. At the same time, the enemy is retreating all over. Let's move to claim the gate. Not that I think that that will be necessary at this point. Move at great haste, soldiers. The Marines have made it here just in time to just lose some troops due to the arrow fire. Let's toggle off guard mode and fire at will, and then order bayonet charge on the inner courtyard. Most of the enemy troops are retreating across the battlefield. This battle has gone on for quite a while. I wonder, hopefully the battery crews here will give up pretty quickly. Or I might have put in too much confidence in the in my what's it called? In my conscripts. We're gonna boost the conscripts here by the presence of the general. And then throw them once more into the charge here. There's only a few of them. You should be able to handle this. We can see the officer there, moving through, waving his sword about. Let's do this. Cutting each other down. I'm surprised that the cannon crew is standing as long as they are. The fact that they're holding out. The officer is about to cut down one guy over there. There's only a few enemies left. They cut down one of ours. They didn't fire the mortars. But I think no, I did move straight in the line of fire. So I'm not entirely sure why they didn't fire. Could be a lot of things. I would imagine corruption. That you know, the gunpowder was sold by some corrupt official. And there we go, we are victorious. And any second now I should win. There we go. We probably lost a lot of men due to the arrow towers. With that said, let's move back to the campaign map. It definitely seemed like I lost a lot more troops. We only lost 303 compared to the enemy, which lost 760. I like how the guy is called OK. He's certainly not OK any longer. The enemy only killed 99. That means that 2/3 of my casualties were inflicted by the towers. So they are indeed very deadly. We've got one infantry unit, losing none, killing 150. Then conscript infantry as we go through. Highest losses goes to the conscripts, but they went inside the castle, so no surprise there. Not much else to say. We managed to take this. First settlement, we peacefully occupy. What I'm going to do though, we're going to repair that. We're going to set the army to march on the Chinese. And we're going to have the Cossacks follow. And then we're going to place... Once we get the castle and a few things, I think it will turn around. For now, we'll have the entire force stationed here. But I think this will change pretty rapidly once the devastation is fixed and as the pro-Korean sentiment is moved down. It's going to move down pretty quickly given the amount of generals and stuff we have in the area. I'm hoping to move quite a few of these troops out to follow the main army as the Chinese are gathering up quite the force. A lot of it is melee infantry and I'm hoping I'll be able to deal with them. But I need all the men I can get to go in to defeat them. I don't really need to worry about what's going on in the south, as I move my ship all the way down here, and the only thing we really noticed is like a unit here, Spear Levy, being recruited all the way down here. Oh, I think I've already fired actually. They are trading over here. You know what? Instead, I should attack the trade route. I might be able to raid some trade and get some cash out of that. Hopefully. I mean, the thing is, if you look at the money that I'm earning, I can't really get any more troops. So with the troops I have, we'll have to figure out a way to take down the enemy. We'll make a little bit more money once I'm able to turn tax back on in this province. But another way to make money is, of course, we need to send a ship over to the Japanese coast and kind of go along there trying to find trade partners in Japan so we can start selling stuff. That's going to increase my trade or increase the wealth I'm making quite a lot. But here we have it for the first ever episode. And yes, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.